Lesson 8, Spelling Alternatives, Tricky Spelling O, pronounce ah and O. Let's learn. What are our learning goals? I can hear and tell the difference between words said aloud with the ah and O sounds. I can read one and two syllable words with a tricky spelling O, pronounced ah, O pronounced O, and can compare these words with the words featuring O, pronounced ah. I can read and write words with O, spelled O, OA, OE, and O consonant E in sorted columns. I can read The Swimming Sisters with purpose and understanding. I can close read the text by answering questions and talking about vocabulary and difficult parts from the text. I can fill out a Venn diagram using key details from the story. Let's focus on skills. Remember our spelling trees. We have ah spelling tree and we have our O spelling tree. Our spelling tree with the O sound. So on this spelling tree, we have branches for the spellings OE, O consonant E, OA, and OE. Today you'll focus on another spelling for the O sound, the spelling O. Notice the length of the O branch on the O spelling tree. The letter O can be used to represent the O sound and the ah sound, so the O can be a tricky spelling. In your code flip book, we have O as in open, and we know that this is common from our power bar. You'll take your green marker and trace the O box, the letter O, and we know this O says O as in open. And our power bar tells us that it is very common. Let's read some words that have the O sound in them, spelled with an O. Hotel, moment, program, bonus, poster, poet, polo, halo, open, omit, over. Good job. So remember, all those words with the O will be able to go on our spelling tree on the branch for O. Let's look at O versus ah. So we're going to compare and contrast. That means tell what's the same, what's different with the O spell O but pronounce ah and the O spell O pronounce O. The O represents the ah sound when there are consonants on either side of the O within the syllable. Remember, syllable or beats. The O represents the O sound in many two-syllable words when the O comes at the end of the syllable. So here we have hotel. So on this one, the O is representing the O sound because it comes at the end of that syllable. Versus hot. On hot, you have ah, t, which has a consonant on both sides of that O. We have moment, so the O is at the end of the syllable, so it's an O, moment, versus mom, ah, because it's on the side of two consonants. Robot versus rob. Totem versus tot. Logo versus log. Now you will do a word sort inside of your book. You're going to sort the words by spelling. Write the words with the O sound spelled O under go. The words with the O sound spelled OA under foul. The words with the O sound spelled OE under toe. And the words with the O sound spelled O consonant E under bone. Once you finish with your word search, let's read. So we're in our magazine, Kids Excel. Story for today is The Swimming Sisters. Remember, Excel means things that kids are great at. So the next series of stories is about two sisters, Kim and Val Castro, who swim. Remember, a series means there is more than one of something. Now we have our table of contents. So remember, the table of contents lists the titles that are in the book, in this case a magazine, and it shows us what page number it starts on. How many stories make up this series about the swimming? Let's see. So the Swimming Sisters is here. That's 1. Val's training, 2. Kim's training, 3. And then have the big race. So there's 4 series that makes up the stories for the swimming. 4 stories that make up the series for the Swimming Sisters. There are many different water sports. Some people practice fancy dives into the water, some dance under the water, and some teams play games like water polo. These stories are about sisters who train to race in the water. They are trying to swim the fastest. Let's go over some words that have the A sound that you will come across. Have the O sound. The A sound, spell AY, Sunday, say. The A sound, spell AI, training, waited. The O sound, spell O consonant E, notes, wrote. The O sound, spelled with an O, Castro. Spelled ER, faster. Multisyllable words, Castro, speedsters, Sunday, training, waited, faster. Remember, multisyllable means it has more than one syllable. So those words you can clap out the beats. Castro, speedsters, Sunday, training, waited, faster. The vocabulary words you will come across in this book are meet. Meet is an event where athletes compete against each other. For example, our school hosted a swim meet with another local high school. Sprints, that's short distances in which speed is the main goal. I like to run sprints because I'm very fast over short distances. Free, that's a short for freestyle, a traditional swim stroke. Example, the first race I swam was the 50 free, meaning the 50 freestyle. Laps, the distance from one end of the pool to the other. We practice doing 2 laps of each swim stroke. Now you will close read the Swimming Sisters. Remember, close read, you want to pay very good attention to the details so that you'll be able to come back and answer questions on the story. So make sure you look for the main idea in the story. What is it mainly about? Okay, so you will leave this tab and click on the next slide to listen to the story.